from multiple pros saying Gaethje is going to win to how different this fight is going to be from the last one, here's how the pros are predicting Justin Gaethje versus Dustin Poirier. Starting with Eddie Alvarez, the guy knows both Poirier and Gaethje better than anyone. Eddie thinks Dustin's the better fighter overall, but he's got a hunch that Gaethje's going to grab this win purely based on his desire and will. I mean, when you're as tough as Gaethje, that's a pretty solid game plan. Who needs fancy footwork when you've got sheer determination, right? But we also have Brian Ortega stepping into the prediction ring. He's got nothing but love for Gaethje's fighting style. And you know what? He's putting his money on the highlight to come out on top. I mean, with those wild brawls Gaethje brings to the cage, it's hard not to root for the guy. But it's not just fighters making predictions, the bookmakers have their say too. According to the top betting sites, Poirier is the clear favorite in this rematch. The money's leaning towards the diamond, as he opened as a minus 125 favorite to defeat Gaethje again. So, if you're into betting, you might want to consider where to put your hard-earned cash. And that's not really shocking. Considering what happened the first time these two squared off, Poirier displayed his superior skills and a game plan right from the start. He remained calm and took on Gaethje's aggressive pressure. Using his striking, Poirier found openings in Gaethje's defense and landed some solid shots. His accuracy and precision definitely gave him an edge in the fight. But hey, let's not forget about Gaethje, the guy with an iron will and an iron chin. He swung for the fences, looking for that one big punch to end it all. And man, did he connect with some heavy hits, especially in the early rounds. But despite that, Poirier took the punishment and fired back with his own shots, showing his toughness and resilience. As the fight went on, Poirier's experience and ability to adapt played a huge role. He made some smart adjustments here and there, countering Gaethje's aggression with incredibly well-timed strikes. He chose his movements wisely, finding openings in Gaethje's defense and capitalizing on them. And when he saw an opening in the fourth round, he unleashed a machine gun of punches that prompted the ref to step in and call it a TKO win for Poirier. In the end, Poirier's technical skills, game plan, toughness, and adaptability led him to victory in their first encounter. It showcased his raw talent and deadly mental strength inside the cage. And ever since then, it's been Poirier who's been stealing the spotlight. He's won 6 out of his last 8 fights. That's no small feat. And guess what? He took down some big names along the way. I'm talking about the notorious Conor McGregor, the tough-as-nails Dan Hooker, and the featherweight champ Max Holloway. Poirier has been in the mix for titles too, fighting for the interim lightweight belt not once, but twice, and even getting a shot at the undisputed lightweight title. But let's give Gaethje the respect he deserves. He's no slouch in the octagon either, winning 4 out of his last 6 fights, and he's taken down some big guns too. Just ask Michael Chandler and Rafael Fiziev. They know what I'm talking about. While Gaethje hasn't won a title yet, he's right up there in the lightweight division, knocking on the door of a title shot. He's considered one of the top contenders, and he brings the excitement whenever he steps into that cage. But with that said, he needs to be on the lookout for Poirier's skills. The guy is one of the most well-rounded fighters in the UFC. He's got a slick submission game and knockout power that'll make your jaw drop. And when it comes to striking, this dude's got some serious finesse. Dustin's technical boxing skills are on point, and he's comfortable throwing down both up close and from a distance. And did I mention he's a southpaw? Yeah, he's got that tricky left-handed stance that keeps his opponents guessing. When things get tough and he's pressed against the fence, Poirier knows how to defend himself. His sprawl game is strong, and he uses underhooks and collar ties to make his opponents think twice about trying to take him down. Plus, he's no slouch in the wrestling department himself, not afraid to mix it up and keep his opponents guessing with takedowns. But let's talk about weaknesses too. Poirier has a tendency to get drawn into those all-out brawls. Sometimes he just can't resist the urge to throw down and engage in a war. And hey, while he's tough as nails, those leg kicks have been known to slow him down a bit. Gotta watch out for those, Dustin. But here's the thing that sets Poirier apart. His toughness, determination, and heart. This guy has been through some absolute wars. He's faced adversity head-on and come out the other side with his hand raised. Losses don't break him. They make him stronger. In a nutshell, Poirier's the whole package. And when you shift your focus to Gaethje, he's a fighter who's all about excitement and aggression. When he steps into that cage, you know you're in for a wild ride. This guy's got power in his punches and a toughness that's hard to match. Seriously, he can take a hit and keep on swinging like nobody's business. When it comes to boxing, Gaethje's got some clean moves up his sleeve. He knows how to use those straight punches to find his range, setting up his tight hooks and uppercuts. And let's not forget about those leg kicks, aka Poirier's greatest weakness. They're downright devastating and have been a game changer in many of his fights. Gaethje has a few strong points that make him a force to be reckoned with. His striking is powerful, no doubt about it, and his ability to absorb punishment and keep moving forward is simply jaw-dropping. This guy's got the heart of a lion, I tell ya! He's also got some solid wrestling skills, and he's shown that he can take opponents down and control them on the ground. On the flip side, Gaethje has a bit of a tendency to get lured into those all-out brawls. Sometimes, he just can't resist the temptation to throw down, and that can lead to unnecessary damage. He kinda just swings without a plan and hopes it helps him win. And as we've seen with his fights against Khabib, Oliveira, and Alvarez, it doesn't always work. But overall, Gaethje has been in some of the most thrilling fights the UFC has ever seen, and he's become a fan favorite because of it. So when Poirier and Gaethje step into the cage, it's a clash of styles. Poirier's gotta stay sharp and make those technical strikes count. He needs to find his openings and land those clean shots while dodging Gaethje's powerful hits. Defense is key. Poirier has been working on his head movement and staying off the center line, so he better keep that up. No wild brawling, stay focused, and take advantage of those opportunities. As for Gaethje, he's got to bring that relentless pressure he's known for. His strikes can be brutal, and those leg kicks are a real game changer, especially against Poirier. Gaethje needs to unleash his power and keep Poirier on his toes. But most importantly, he's got to be smart about it. Avoid getting lured into wild exchanges and stick to his game plan. He can't let those counterattacks ruin his night. Now, making a prediction isn't easy. Both of these fighters are no joke, and this rematch promises to be big. But I think I have a pretty good idea of how it's going to go down. Poirier would like nothing better than a repeat of what happened last time. He knows Gaethje's weakness when it comes to getting drawn into wild brawls, so he'll look to take advantage of that. When these two face off again, Poirier might try to lure Gaethje into exchanges, using his counter-attacking skills to land clean shots. He'll also be cautious about Gaethje's leg kicks, making sure to defend against them like a champ. Poirier's improved defense, bobbing and weaving, and staying off the center line will be crucial to avoid those power shots. As for Gaethje, he'll have learned from their first scrap and will adjust his approach. Gaethje isn't going to fall for Poirier's brawl bait this time. Nah, he's going to create some chaos, throw those power shots, and try to overwhelm Poirier. Gaethje will be targeting those legs, aiming to slow Poirier down and make him feel like he's walking in quicksand. Plus, Gaethje knows he can't gas himself out early. He's got to pace himself and keep that aggression and power going strong, especially in the later rounds. So, in this rematch, both fighters are going to switch it up, exploit weaknesses, and make the right moves to come out on top. They've watched their previous fight, taken notes, and now it's time to put their new strategies into action. So, from how different this fight is going to be from the last one, to multiple pros saying Gaethje is going to win. This was how the pros are predicting Justin Gaethje versus Dustin Poirier.